and to pull himself up by his own bootstraps when nothing or no one was around him to encourage him or help him. What was going on in the young man's mind? I wish y'all would help me preach this thing and just point your hands up here at the pulpit and say, Pastor Watson, do you have any news that this house can use? Yeah. But the first thing that I believe this young man would help us see is he made up his mind, mama, that he was going to change because he understood that my condition today doesn't have to be my conclusion tomorrow. Let me say that again. He said, my condition today doesn't have to be my conclusion tomorrow. Oh yeah, I might be broke today, but I don't have to be broke tomorrow. I might be down in a pig pen today, but I don't have to be in a pig pen tomorrow. All my friends have walked away today, but I can get some new friends tomorrow. I'm depressed today, but I can be encouraged tomorrow. I'm smoking the chronic today, but I can be chronic free tomorrow. My condition today don't have to be my conclusion tomorrow. And somebody in this house needs to catch that today. Whatever your condition is right now, it don't have to be the shape you're in tomorrow. Y'all to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, whatever I am today, I don't have to be that tomorrow. That neighbor didn't say anything. Let's talk to anybody you can and tell them my condition today is not my conclusion tomorrow, because God can fix me up. God can turn my life around. God can pick me up. God can turn me around. Put my feet on solid ground. I don't know about you, but I remember the song. They said I was sinking deep in sin. Yeah, I was far from the peaceful shore. I was very deeply stained within, and I was thinking to rise no more. But the master, of the sea, he heard my despairing cry, and from the water he lifted me. Now say, am I? My condition today doesn't have to be my conclusion tomorrow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My condition today doesn't have to be my conclusion tomorrow. Yeah, he said I need to change. And where I am right now, it doesn't mean I have to stay where I am. But not only does he realize his condition today doesn't have to be his conclusion tomorrow, he came to grips with the fact, Max, that my issue doesn't change my identity. Hey, y'all missed that. But it's all right. I used to be slow too. Yeah. My issue. Come on over here, brothers. Y'all don't have to listen over there. Come on in. My issue doesn't change my identity. When you look at verses 19 and verses 21, he says twice. He says, I'm going back home, and I'm going to ask my father if I can be a hired servant, because I don't deserve to be called a son. He said that twice. But by the time he gets down here to verse 21, he says it again. He says, I don't deserve. He says, Father, he returns to his father, and his father saw him coming, and he embraced him and kissed him. And the son said, Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I'm no longer worthy of being called your son. But his father said to the servants, quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet. Kill the fattest calf that we got, and because we got to celebrate. And the reason we have to celebrate is because my son, who don't feel worthy to be called my son, is back home. And see, but just because my son messed up, just because my son has a problem, just because my son has a dysfunction, just because my son has an issue, it doesn't change his identity. That's why the boy went back home. He said, I'm going home to my father because my issue doesn't change my identity. Let me help somebody in the house today. I don't care how many folk you slept with. It doesn't change your identity. I don't care how much crack you smoked. It don't change your identity. I don't care how many brews you sucked down. It don't change your identity. I don't care how long you did what you did, but touch your neighbor then tell them it don't change nothing. Tell somebody you did what you did, but it don't change nothing. Young man said, my issue don't change my identity. I'm still going home. I'm still going home. I'm still going home. Come on. I got one more thing I need to show you. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor. Reverend, getting ready to wrap it up. Come on, y'all didn't say it like y'all really meant it. Tell him, neighbor, he's getting ready to bring it on in. You see, this young man said, Joel, that I need to change. He said, my condition today doesn't have to be my conclusion tomorrow. He said, your issue doesn't change your identity. But when you look at verses 28 through 32, you will hear these words. The older brother, after the young man comes back home, I said the older brother was angry and wouldn't come to the party. His father came out and begged him, but the young man replied and said, all these years I slaved for you and never once refused to do a thing you told me to do. And all this time, Daddy, you never even gave me a party. All this time, Daddy, you ain't never done nothing for me. But then when the young boy comes home, after messing up the money, after he comes back home with all of his issues, when he comes back home after disrespecting you in front of everybody, then you want to give him a party. But then the father said, we had to celebrate because this is a happy day. For your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found. Touch a neighbor and say, neighbor, but the boy understood. It's time to come home. I need to change because I'm not going to let anybody